You wanna play with me? 今回のテーマにするかどうか正直迷いました。なぜかと言いますと、少しアダルトな方向になってしまうリスクが、あるため、できるだけファミリー向けな動画にしたいと思います。難しいんですけどね。そういった話題に触れる可能性がありますね。play のことですね。こういった単語は日本語で何て言うんでしょうかね。いろんな場面で使いますよね。だいたいピュアなイメージがあると思います。子供たちが遊ぶ。学校の友達と遊ぶ。今度うちに遊びに来て。でもね、英語だと play という言葉の選び方が問題になることが、ありますね。自分の経験から見ると大変なことになってしまうケースが多かったりしますね。今回はそれに関して根掘り葉掘り解説していきますね。できるだけクリーンな動画にしたいと思います。まあできるかな。I'm going to break it down into 4 parts: the problem, the reason, the solution, and some example sentences. The goal of this video is to find out more about the wonders and the dangers of the simple word play. First, let's look at the problem. You want to play with me? You want to play with me? Where do I start with this one? Now, it really depends on the situation as to how this kind of question would be taken. Let's say you're at a tennis court or sitting in front of a PlayStation. It's pretty obvious what the person is talking about, right? But if you're just a couple of people, like adults having a chat, things could go pear-shaped very quickly. So, John, what are you up to this weekend? My wife and kids are on a trip, so I'm pretty much free. Give you some time to relax, right? Yeah, I've been pretty stressed out the past couple of weeks with work. Hey, I've got an idea. What's that? I'm all ears. You wanna play with me? Well? You want me to play with you? Sure, it'll be fun. Your wife and kids are away. Great for stress. Listen, I think you're kind of misunderstanding things. You play with me, I play with you. It's a win-win situation. I have a wife and kids. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm not like that. Like what? It'll be great. We can take pictures and show your family. Take pictures? Oh, I gotta go. Wait! Come back! It'll be fun! Now, I've actually seen this kind of conversation take place. It wasn't quite as dramatic as my little skit, but it can lead to some serious communication problems. Things would escalate even more quickly if this conversation was between a man and a woman. The word play is used a lot in, how should I put it, romantic situations between consenting adults. I've occasionally heard it being used in this context in Japanese, but I think that it doesn't really have the same feeling as it does in English. I could be wrong though. A lot of English loanwords have been introduced into Japanese, and for the most part, apart from the pronunciation and the grammar, they're used in a pretty similar way as to how they're used in English. As I'm sure you know, the word pure can be used quite innocently in Japanese, especially in sport. Play ball! Nice play! But also in some more adult contexts. So let's take a moment to focus on the Japanese verb asobu, as it can actually have a lot of different meanings, can't it? According to the dictionary, the following rankings are based on general usage patterns and contexts. So apparently, the most common way to use the Japanese verb asobu is to play, to enjoy oneself, and to have a good time. The second most used way is to mess about with alcohol, to gamble, and to sleep around. The third way is to use it when you're talking about to be idle, or to do nothing, or to be unproductive. And apparently, the fourth most common way to use the Japanese verb asobu is to go somewhere for pleasure or for study. So for the most part, it seems that Japanese native speakers use asobu for having a good time and enjoying themselves. Another point that I want to shed some light on is this. And this is a very important point, so please listen very carefully. At what age do we stop using the verb play, meaning spending time with friends? In Japanese, you often say 友達と遊ぶ. Even in junior high school, senior high school, university, and adult life. But in English, we stop using play like this towards the end of elementary school. It starts sounding childish and basically inappropriate in many ways. From about the age of 12, young people start saying hang out instead of play. It seems more cool, grown up, and age appropriate. You want to hang out on Saturday? Let's hang out at the mall. I love hanging out with my buddies. Hang out is mostly used by the younger generation, so I personally don't really use it all that much myself. I tend to use something a bit more straightforward like these. You want to get together on Saturday? Let's have a coffee. I love spending time with my friends. But I want to focus now on the English word play and the different ways you can use it in daily conversation. This should help to clear up any misunderstandings that you may have had. You might also be in for a few wee surprises. Want to play? So in this section, I want to take a good look at the different ways we can use the verb play in English. The first and most obvious place to start is with sport and games. In regards to playing sport and competitive activities, the verb play is most definitely not an automatic choice. Let's break it down. For games and ball sports, we use play. Play badminton, play golf, play Uno. For individual or one-person activities, we use do. Do yoga, do aerobics, do karate. For activities that end in an ing, we use go. Go running, go swimming, go shopping. The second way we can use play is for a sexual meaning. It means to be promiscuous or to have a lot of very casual relationships. She plays the field. So this expression is interesting. It could be used for a man or a woman. If you play the field, it means you don't have just one partner. You have sexual relationships with multiple people at the same time. He's been playing around with another woman. So to play around with another person means to have an affair. This can be for a married couple, but also for like just a boyfriend and a girlfriend. To play around with someone. You want to play? This is like an invitation to do something sexual, which is the reason why it's such a dangerous thing to say, especially between a man and a woman. The third meaning that you have to be careful with is when someone is trying to start a fight. You'll often hear this one in the movies when the tough guy might say something like, "You wanna play?" So let's go back to the original question. Why does "you wanna play with me" get misconstrued so easily? This is just my personal opinion, but I think people from English-speaking countries are very quick to jump to the sexual meaning of things. I don't know, it's just the way it is. Maybe we just have dirty minds. They can be very quick to laugh and joke about these things, but at the same time, they can also be very quick to get upset. This can be because of various reasons. Things like religion, politics, personality, or sometimes even a sense of humor. So just be careful if you're asking someone if they want to play. Now, I might be a little bit old-fashioned in saying this, but I think it's especially risky if you're a woman talking to a man. That's just my take on it. John didn't take his studies at university very seriously, so he had to repeat a year. So instead of using the word play, I use the expression, he didn't take his studies very seriously. To repeat a year means just that. When you don't get enough credits to pass the year, you have to do the year again to repeat a year. We're going camping. Want to join us? I think I'll pass on this one. I think I might be coming down with something. So in this case, we used, because camping is an ing activity, we used go. So you go camping, go running, go swimming, go shopping, go plus ing. And remember, especially with shopping, never ever put to in the center. Go to shopping. Never do that. Go shopping. One more point about that particular point there was point. Too many points. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. Okay. So when you're talking about come down with something, this is when you're starting to feel sick. If you use it in an ing form, I think I'm coming down with something, it means it's the very early stages of feeling bad. I think I might be coming down with something. Maybe you have a little tickle in your throat, or you're starting to sneeze, you're feeling a little bit warm. I think I might be coming down with something, but I'm not sure. Having a successful life all boils down to one thing: spending quality time with family and friends. Using the expression spend time with is probably the best way to talk about having a nice time with friends and family, especially as an adult. Notice we never use play. The expression it all boils down to means it's the most important thing. In this case, the essence of life. It's concerning that over 70% of children in both urban and rural areas of Japan don't play outdoors on weekdays. If something is concerning, then it makes me worried about the future of Japan. I guess they're either glued to their screens or taking some kind of lesson. Have you ever gotten yourself into an uncomfortable situation by using the verb play wrongly? If you have, please share them down in the comments. I'm sure there are a few juicy anecdotes out there.